I mean, bro, you got to be feeling great, bro. I mean, making your brand risk debut in front of, I mean, all across probably millions of people across all platforms. I know Kick had peaked at 400,000 concurrent viewers. I mean, how do you feel about just making your debut on a big platform like that and kind of putting your name out there?
Bro, I feel great, bro. I took a risk, going up 3 weight classes, with such a accomplished professional. But yeah, bro, I feel great. I was able to get the win. And most importantly, like you said, on brand risk, you know what I mean? I wanna keep representing brand risk for the rest of my career, like I told Aiden Ross. And I meant that.
Yeah, I mean, bro, your fight. I mean, I was live streaming. I was doing a watch party. Everyone was going crazy. It was like, I mean, the chat was going nuts. They were saying, "Wow, this is like a fight we want to see. This is a person we want to see continue to fight on brand risk and represent brand risk." So, how do you feel about the fans kind of having your back and wanting to see you come back?
Bro, I love it, bro. I mean, I feel like the people that want to see a fight are always gonna support me because it's what I bring. You know what I mean? My opponent, was a pure boxer. And pure boxers, what they do is they move a lot. They're strategic and they try to win off a point. That's not necessarily me. I try to hurt people when I'm in there, which is the reason why I fought the way I did. Um, but yeah, bro, I really appreciate everybody's support for sure.
I mean, in your post fight interview, when you were talking to Aiden, I mean, you said you moved up 3 weight classes to make this fight. Your opponent did not make the weight. I mean, what does that say about you being a professional boxer, being able to do that to make this fight possible and still ending up getting the win?
Yeah, bro. Honestly, bro, I could have done a lot more. The problem was I had a week and a half to train.
Yeah,
I got a call in a week and a half. I hadn't trained for 2 months because I had a hand injury in my last fight, so I took some time off. And then when they called me for the fight, it was gonna be yes always. You know what I mean? Because I've been wanting to represent brand risk. So for me, it was a no brainer. It was just like you said, I am a professional. I make weight and stuff like that. But yeah, me going up 3 weight classes, that was just because of the opportunity of being on brand risk. I wouldn't do that anywhere else,
yeah, for sure. I mean, that
especially on
opportunity.
a week and a half.
Yeah, a week and a half is, I mean, that's a crazy ask, but you were able to do it and you were able to make weight professionally and get that fight done. Your opponent as well, a lot of stuff was said during the weigh-ins, during the press conference, a lot of back and forth banter. Do you feel like you kind of said what you had to say and then you were able to back it up in a sense?
For sure, I ran to the middle of the ring like I said I would. I was ready to thump it out. I was ready to bump, and he obviously wasn't. That was not his agenda. His agenda was to outbox me and outpoint me and win a decision, which he couldn't even do that. You don't win fights being on the ropes the whole time. Realistically, you just don't. But he had good defense, so the only thing I couldn't back up was knocking him out because he did have good defense.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard when you're coming at a guy who doesn't want to kind of throw down like you want to do, who's kind of just protecting himself. We saw you kind of had him on the ropes a little bit, and he just kind of throw up his guard, and you'd be just trying to break it down and go after it. But I mean, still
For
at the
sure.
end of the day, you were able to outbox him, and you were able to get this win.
100%. 100%. Now, my next fight, I wanted to be in my weight class at 154,
Yep.
so we can see how people react when I hit them.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's going to be a very, you're going to have hopefully more time for a proper camp. You're going to have an opponent where you're comfortable fighting at the same weight as. So people are going to be able
Right.
to see, the real Andrew Garcia when you're at your weight, when you're comfortable, and you have enough time to train and prepare for your opponent.
Absolutely, bro. And that's the reason why, I'm trying to make all the noise I can right now because I want to be on the next brand risk event. I heard it's might be in May that I want to be on it.
Yeah, they're saying right now it's looking like early May. It'll be the first venue in Florida, it looks like. So that'd be really cool to be on that card. I mean, a lot
For
of other
sure.
people as well. They said the main event is looking like the best one we've gotten so far. So being on that card, a stacked card, we hope. Hopefully, we get to see Bang Williams on there as well, doing his
Yeah.
thing. Shout out to Bang, shout out to AP, shout out to those guys. But having you guys on that card, the kind of that pro boxer and influencer mix up. What do you think about kind of the influencer scene and kind of mixing like Brand Risk is doing with the pro and the influencers?
Well, I think a lot of these influencers aren't getting the respect they deserve. A lot of them know how to box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They either have boxing experience or they have amateur experience, like Scam Likely, for example. You know what I mean? People don't know that, but Scam Likely has amateur experience. You know what I mean? He's been boxing for a long time. So it's like, a lot of these so-called influencers are actual boxers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, if for example, look at Jake Paul, he's been boxing for 6, 7 years already. He's a boxer. So it's like a lot of these influencers are real boxers. So now trying to, being able to mix the two and making a show out of it is the reason why brand risk is the best promotion in the world.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, brand risk, I've been watching since the first event. So seeing the first event to now, the production level has been, from here to here. It has been an insane jump in the production. The fight quality, just the matchmaking. I think Jordan is doing a really good job at getting fights that fans want to see. And that Blueface and Shibu fight, that was a last minute thing, but I think it was still overall a good fight. And then obviously the co-main.
Yeah, for sure, bro. The whole card was great, to be honest with you. People did his thing for sure.
I mean, yeah, that's another influencer, kind of influencer versus rapper style going back at it. Blueface, the whole controversy with his fight, saying he thinks that it was rigged and all this stuff. And then Chibu was just doing his thing. How do you feel about people saying that there are rigged fights in brand risk when Aiden said, look, the commissions here, this is the same commission that are sanctioning these pro bouts. I mean, some of the referees I recognize from the Jake Paul fight. I mean, these are real referees, these are real commissions sanctioning these fights.
Yeah, the whole Florida Commission was there. There's no funny business going on there. Bro, honestly, bro, you have to understand that these people that are fighting have strong fan base. They have a strong fan base, and their fan base are always going to be biased, and they're always going to go for their people. So it's like aside from these people having a strong fan base, also people's style preference. You know what I mean? Some people like seeing boxers, they like the movement.
Yep.
So even though they might be losing, they still go for that style. They like the pressure fighter, they like the strong fighter. They're gonna be biased towards that type of athlete. So, that's the reason why we have professional judges scoring these fights. You know what I mean? And that's that.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think about your opponent, Deshawn Prather, immediately calling you out to rematch after your fight? Were you kind of like, I proved what I needed to prove. I moved up 3 weight classes to fight you. You missed weight. You had your chance. I got it done. Now I'm kind of just going up from here. How do you feel about him calling you out to a rematch?
Honestly, bro, the reason why I haven't even given him the time of day or no attention is because of the way he's going about it. You know what I mean? He's over here trying to tarnish my name and shit. So I haven't even mentioned him. I haven't even said his name one time. But bro, to answer your question, I don't mind fighting anybody. I mean, we're all pro fighters. Him, me, and all the rest of the pro fighters. None of us are scared of each other. The only thing is, I went up to your weight class. You know what I'm saying? I was the one that went up 3 weight classes. I was the one that took the fight last minute. You know what I mean? If you want to fight me, you're gonna have to fight me at my weight class. You know, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be accommodating for you when I had your ass on the fucking ropes the whole fight. You know what I mean? So, if he wants a rematch, he can talk to Jordan, and we can make it happen at my weight class.
Yeah, 100%. You winning the fight, you are now the A side in those negotiations for a
So,
potential rematch with him. I know you said something in the press conference about his record. A lot of opponents that he fought didn't have great records. So kind of the whole like stat padding sort of thing where you're just fighting guys who are already basically, have a bunch of losses. What did you think coming into this fight with Deshawn's record? Were you concerned of any, footage that you were watching of him, or were you just kind of like, this is going to be another day at the office?
honestly, bro, only thing I was concerned of happened. I knew he was gonna run around. I knew he was gonna try to outbox me, make it like a boring, difficult fight. And the only reason it concerned me was it wasn't because I was concerned of the style. Because let's be honest, bro. There's nothing to be concerned of like danger. He's not a big puncher. He's just gonna outpoint you. So there was no fear. Only thing I was concerned about was it being a boring fight. You know what I'm saying? In front of Aiden Ross. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put on a show. But it takes two to tango. You know what I mean? And if I don't have somebody in front of me that's also willing to throw down and actually fight instead of just box the whole time and not get touched, it's hard to put a good performance on for the fans. Fan friendly fight stuff like that. That's what I was concerned about. It ended up happening the way me and my coaches thought it was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to go to the body more and break him down more. But to be super honest with you, in a week and a half notice, I wasn't in the best shape. I was looking at myself on camera. I looked kind of fat, so I was laughing at that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, bro, it actually went down the way I thought it was gonna be. I just wish I would have had a little bit more time to prepare. I would have gone his body more and broke him down.
Yeah, 100%. And these short notice fights like that, there's only so much that you can do to prepare. I mean, a lot of guys, or a couple of guys who missed weight just having short notice fights, you were able to, like I said, jump up 3 weight classes and fight him and still get the win, which
Yeah,
was, it's huge. It's a huge first fight. I mean, man, now you look at it, I mean, Jordan's probably going to be like, we want you back. We want you on the next brand risk card. I mean, you were really entertained for what you were given. Like I said, your opponent wasn't really giving you that much, trying to win off points. You were just trying to break him down, and you kind of just had to deal with what you were given, which wasn't a lot.
exactly, brother. That's why now I'm calling out USA Sane, because he's more of a fan friendly guy. He's gonna come forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm also gonna come forward. So we're gonna give the fans what they want to see. And if this is gonna be the first brand risk card on a venue, I think he would want two guys like myself and USA saying that we are proven to go forward and throw down.
I think that'd be a great fight. USA Saiyan has had a couple fights on brand risk. He ended up beating OJ Rose, but he is. I think that'd be a really entertaining fight. I think the build up to that would be really entertaining. I think that'd be a
Yeah,
really enticing fight for brand risk to make
sure.
on their next fight in hopefully May. Hopefully we
A
get to
whole
see
lot
you
of
in May. Yeah.
Yeah, it truly makes a lot of sense to make that fight happen. Um, it's gonna be entertaining. He's not gonna take a step back because it's just not the type of person he is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we want. We want to put up a good fight, a good performance, and be entertaining, man. That's the most important thing. My walkout for this fight on May is gonna be very entertaining as well. So the whole thing is gonna be about entertainment. And once I get in the ring, bro, I'm throwing bombs. I'm always throwing bombs. And USA saying is gonna come doing the same thing. He's gonna try to throw bombs as well. So it's gonna be a night to remember.
I mean, that's going to be amazing to see. Just the entertainment side of it as well. Like, there's a lot of people, every event tuned in to watch these fights throughout all platforms. I know Kick was having performance issues. A lot of people were getting kicked out of their streams because there were so many people on that Kick stream trying to watch these fights. But putting on a performance, like I said, putting on a show is what the fans want to see. They want to see the electric, crazy knockouts. Sometimes you just see a really good boxing match, which is what pro boxers do. They outbox their opponent. Um, for you, for example, I mean, I've watched your other fights. That I mean, there was a pretty brutal KOs that you've had as well. Like I said, your opponent can only give you so much. You weren't able to kind of do what you wanted to do with the short notice that you had. But I think in the future, you will be able to kind of showcase your full potential on brand risk.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And I think I think I can do that now, right now in May with USA saying I can really show the world what I'm capable of. My skill set, my power. If I did fight USA saying in May, I would guarantee I would knock him out. I
That's
would guarantee it. I would guarantee it, and that this is no shade towards him. It's just because styles make fights, and I'm a way bigger puncher than him.
yeah, 100%. Styles do make fights 100%. Watching his previous fights, I think just seeing the difference in style and the aggression and the kind of ring control that you would be able to take. Do you think that kind of plays into your hands of being an aggressive fighter, being able to get it done, but at the same time not just running in there with your hands down, kind of just being a more stylistic type of fighter and being able to control your opponent and just basically do whatever you want in the ring?
Yeah, brother. I think that's one of the best things about my style is my control. You know what I mean? My control, my ring generalship, my position in the ring. I'm a pretty smart person. I know how to navigate the ring real well. Obviously, my strength and power, my physical strength is obviously a big thing as well. But my skill set is high, and I can do a lot of things other than just bang it out. I can box as well. Obviously, my last opponent, I couldn't really showcase the rest of my skills. I had to be very physical and aggressive. But like I said, with USA saying he's somebody I can showcase my skill set and ultimately get the finish.
100%. So I kind of want to get into how did this whole brand risk process get started? How did you get in the, I guess, in the discussion, or how did you get Jordan's attention to fight on brand risk?
Brother, actually, it wasn't even me. So Gabe Silva needed an opponent, and they sent my information. Well, so Gabe Silva needed an opponent, and Jordan put out a post on Instagram saying he was looking for somebody. So Bang William and 30 sent out a message to Jordan saying that they had me. So Jordan hit me up. We got into and talked. We started talking, and he sent my info out to Gabe Silva, and Gabe Silva rejected the fight, said I had too much experience. So then Jordan calls me back and he goes, but we got one person. We have a pro with a good record, and he's 19-2, and he's at 170, and I'm like, no, 166 is what he said. I'm like, oh shit, that's like
Yeah.
that's way bigger. That's way bigger than any weight class I've ever fought in. I've never fought that heavy. So long story short, can you still see me? You could, right?
Yeah, I can still see it.
So long story short, I accepted the fight in 30 seconds. Um, then yeah, so I accepted the fight in 30 seconds, and then they called me the next day saying that they wanted to move it up to 170. I accepted that as well. So that's how it happened.
I mean, you were able to kind of. I think that fight with Gabe Silva. I think hopefully we can see that down the future. I mean, like I said, him, the whole pro boxer and influencer kind of collide is there. I know Gabe Silva. I think they kind of were setting him up to get a bounce back win after his last fight against AP. So I don't think I think him scouting you, his team looking at you. I don't think they would have wanted to go that route for kind of a bounce back, a get back win, sort of speak. But yeah,
Yeah,
that I
yeah, it
mean,
makes sense. He's I met him at this last fight I just fought in, and he's way bigger than me, like way bigger, way taller than me. So I don't know why they didn't take it, but um, I was open to taking it. I accepted it. But as of right now, I do want to fight in my weight class. So if Gabe Silva as well wants to come down to my weight class or meet me in the middle, we'll make that shit happen too. No problem.
yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think you should be able to, after, especially after winning your fight, you should be able to kind of be like, hey, listen, I did what you asked for. I went up 3 weight classes. I still made weight, and I was still able to get the job done. Now I kind of want to, kind of go back to where I was before this in my weight class and fight someone the same weight as me, not someone that's
Yeah.
10, 20 pounds heavier, and then me being able
Yeah.
to not get enough time to prepare for that fight.
For sure, bro. I just that's the only thing I really ask of when it comes to brand risk and fighting and stuff. It's just I want to fight people in my weight class. That's all it really is. I mean, obviously, if you got a big name, I can bend some of my own rules, but realistically, I do want to stay in my weight class.
Yeah, 100%. I think you being able to still kind of dictate what you want to do after this fight. I mean, I think Jordan and the whole brand risk team are kind of like, all right, this guy's on our radar along with all the other pro boxers. Like I said, Bang, AP, Scam, all those guys who are kind of in the pro scene that kind of cross over with these influencers. Do you see yourself maybe fighting an influencer in the future? Maybe you kind of go down and fight someone with a big name who's looking to get into the boxing scene?
Yeah, for sure. So I see myself eventually fighting one of the good influencers, one of the guys that are actually good. Obviously right now I probably don't deserve it, calling somebody out with a big name, you know what I mean? I gotta pave the way and, earn my stripes. But yeah, I mean I'm sure, I wanna stick with Brand Risk. Aiden Ross personally told me he welcomed me to Brand Risk after my fight. So if I fight in May again and I keep fighting a few more fights, I get spectacular wins and I build my name, I'm sure I will end up fighting a big influencer that can actually box.
Yeah, I mean that'd be amazing to see. Like I said, building up your kind of career, your resume on brand risk, which is where you said you want to be. You want to represent brand risk for life. You want to
Yeah.
be there. I mean, like it's crazy that you were able to just jump at this opportunity, take it, and take advantage of this opportunity, get this win, and now you're in a very good position here. Where the next time, hopefully, we see you fighting in May. I'd love to see you on that card. Hopefully, fighting USA saying that again. Like I said, that'd be a great fight. I really think that's the fight to make next. I think the promotion for that fight would be amazing, especially if you get that knockout, man. I mean, highlight knockout like that. I mean, that only puts you up. We've seen what Bang Williams has done so far. He's been like the number one star of brand risk, number one pound for pound. I think you're gonna go up to number two after that fight. I mean, how do you
Yeah,
feel about being with Bang?
Bang Williams deserves the number one spot. You know what I mean? He's the most accomplished pro on the whole brand risk banner. So Bang deserves to be number one. Bang's a personal friend of mine. So man, I don't mind being number two right behind him.
I mean, yeah, that's a great list. There, just having the pro boxers kind of come into the scene, kind of mixing it up with the little goofy fights that the like the TikToker versus TikToker fight. We seen that first fight
Yeah.
of the night, which was really funny. I mean, the commentary of that fight, watching Aiden and his friends react, that was amazing. But going from that fight to the main event, or even to your fight, I mean, you could just see the difference in kind of where this card is. The card goes from here, which is no experience and just for fun, and then it goes up to here with pro boxing experience, controlling the ring, combos, jabs. Do you feel like that's a good thing to have kind of a mixture of both?
Yeah, that's why I had said the mix of professional fighting and then entertainment is important. You also mix two different fan bases, so you can still get some hardcore boxing fans, and you can still get fans of entertainment, social media, and influencers. So you combine them both together, and you just become the biggest promotion in the world, which Brand Risk is. And then you also have the biggest following in the world, which is what Brand Risk wants. So they already are succeeding at that already. But like we said, so, mixing entertainment, influencers, and professional fighting together is really what they're doing.
100%. Brand Risk has been around for a while. That, I mean, this is only the 13th event. I mean, they've been able to kind of keep building event by event, getting bigger and bigger names. We saw Le'Veon Bell fight Super Hot Fire. That was a great main event.
Yeah,
That was I was like, man, Le'Veon Bell on a Brand card, because obviously the known feud is between Brand and Misfits. That's been a known thing. Misfits Boxing, owned by KSI, owned by Mams Taylor. They had Minicon was their fighter. Minicon was fighting there. He didn't feel appreciated, so he went to Brand. He signed with Brand. He fought AP the fighter and ended up losing that fight. How do you feel like the rivalry is between like two kind of promotional companies? One, Misfits, who kind of is going more towards the pro scene a little bit, and Brandrisk, who's embracing the fact that, hey, we have influencers here. Influencers, the biggest of the biggest, Gypsy Crusader, really popular, Blueface, really popular. They're fighting on here, and we want to bring you the most entertaining fights, not necessarily like the best pro fights.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, hey, man, if Misfits wants to do a Misfits versus Brand Risk, man, I'm all for that too. I'm representing Brand Risk to the end. We can run that, no problem. I'm gonna make sure I get that win. That's what I'm gonna make sure I do, for sure, hundred
That
percent.
yeah, that would be. I think that would be like a promotional kind of collab in a sense of having Misfits fighters and Brandrist collabs bringing everyone together. I think would really be cool. Maybe you throw in like a little goofy main event of two like influencers, one from the Brand Risk side, one from the Misfit side. Maybe as like a main event, you pick a pro boxer from the Brand Risk side, and then one from the Misfits side, or even two. I mean, maybe you and Bang kind of represent the Brand
Yeah,
Risk pro guys, and then Misfits picks two of their guys. I think that'd be a really cool kind of concept of an idea of a card.
for sure. Yeah, that would be pretty dope. But up to ultimately whatever Brand Risk wants to do, whatever Aiden Ross sees fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's all about entertainment for those guys. Those guys, they just want to put on a show for the fans. They want to make fights that the fans want to see. I saw Colby Covington say yesterday, I think it was, that listen, Brand
Yeah,
Risk is putting on fights that fans want to see. The UFC, they're not doing that. Dana's not doing that. The fans are saying, hey, we want to see this guy versus this guy, and they're making it happen.
yeah,
They're truly just like a fan kind of influence thing. I mean, at the end of the day, Brandrisk are just a bunch of Aiden's fans, a bunch of boxing fans kind of mixed together. All these fan bases want to see fighting. That's what they're getting. And I think at the end of the day, Brandrisk is just going up from here, and it's going to be an amazing sight to see in the future.
for sure, 100%. I mean, Brand Risk is on the way up, and it's gonna take over the game for sure,
I
100%.
I like I said, I'm really just excited for this next venue event. I mean, seeing all these fighters kind of build up their repertoire in a sense. You, Bang, AP, Scam. I know Scam was injured. He had an eye injury, so he wasn't able to fight on this past brand risk. So maybe seeing him come back and him fight someone. I know he was calling out Austin McBroom. I know he was calling out Bryce Hall. All these other guys. I know Austin McBroom wants to fight. He's boxing. I know Bryce Hall wants to fight Austin McBroom. There's a lot of influencers like that want to call each other out, and I think brand risk is going to jump on this opportunity to get these kind of TikTokers or influencers back into boxing because I mean at the end of the day that's where it started. I mean it started from Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI, the whole influencer side of things mixing in with Eddie Hearn and all those DAZN guys. From now, I mean we're watching Blueface fight Chibu and we're watching Aiden Ross and Rampage Jackson and Neon and
Yeah.
Charleston White commentate this fight. I mean who would have thought we would have ended up here? I mean
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the growth is crazy, bro, and they're just gonna keep growing. You know what I mean? Brand Risk it has the biggest personalities in the world. So from Aiden Ross to all these other guys you just mentioned, it's only going up for sure.
which is what we love to see. I know Aiden was talking about in his last stream. He was like, guys, a lot of these fights, a lot of these fighters that we watch fight are going to be back. A lot of these guys who want to represent brand risk, a lot of these guys who are coming in here to put on a show, they will get what they deserve. They will get paid. They will get these big top fights, and they will be put on like a spotlight. So for yourself, do you see yourself kind of entering this influencer scene? Maybe streaming. I know AP the fighter streaming. Bang Williams is starting to stream. Do you see yourself maybe kind of getting into this influencer kind of type of role that these other guys are doing?
Yeah, I'm linking up with them this weekend. Me, Bang, and 30. We're gonna go streaming this weekend. Yes, I'm gonna start streaming now. So yeah,
All right.
that's definitely what I'm hopping on. And I'm gonna be able to give people a glimpse of my life other than just in the gym. You know what I mean? They're gonna see me outside the gym and see what I do on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, for sure, streaming is gonna be part of my life now.
I think that'd be really cool, giving kind of fans an insight of maybe even, hey, this is what I do. This is what I work out. This is how long I spar for. This is what I do after. Kind of just an inside of your daily routine, whether you're preparing for a fight or not. I know Bang has been streaming. He was like live in New York a couple months ago for that Tio fight. He was just live downtown New York. I know a lot of people were in the stream from the brand risk stuff. So kind of building your brand up there, getting people like, hey, this is why you should check me out. I'm live here. I'm with Bang. I'm with 30. I'm with all these guys. Kind of just building yourself your own little circle of kind of people that you know and people that you mess with. I think would really kind of build up your promotional value, and not even just on the boxing side, just on the influencer side, building up your brand. It would be a great way. I mean, it is called brand risk for a reason. You are being able to build up your brand. So I
Yeah.
think it's a really big positive that these pro boxers or even non-influencers are kind of going in that direction and starting to stream.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I think it's important and it's a must. You know what I'm saying? Especially like you said, brand risk. It's all about building your brand and building yourself. You know what I mean? And if you can't be somebody like that, then maybe you shouldn't be on brand risk.
Yeah, 100%. They want people to promote their fights. I know other promotional companies were actually taking money away from fighters that weren't promoting their fights. I know Misfits has done it in the past where there's just fighters who just don't post anything about their fights, don't even post the fight. They just show up to the press conference. I'm here to win. I'm here to get this win, and that's it. And then they end up getting like their money taken, which obviously that's not building up promotional value. I know Aiden, I know Jordan, I know all the guys want the fights to be built up. I know like the Discord face-offs, that was a huge thing. Seeing you and your opponent go back at it, that kind of built up a lot of people like, wait, hold on, this might be a pretty good fight. A lot of people who
Yeah.
don't know much about all these people coming into the brand risk scene. You're kind of introducing yourself for the first time, like, hey, this is what I'm about. You're gonna see me do what I gotta do, and I hope you mess with it. So that's really what brand risk is all about. And I think you just being able to put on a performance, put on a show for all the fans, building up your name and getting your name out there is just one of the great things that Aiden and Brand Risk have done.
Yeah, for sure, brother. That's why this fight, man. I want to be on it on May. I want to get into what USA saying, and I mean, I already spoke to him, so I know he's game. I know he's down. But if not him, his last opponent, we can run that too. I forgot his name. OJ Rose, right? That's
OJ,
his
yep,
name.
OJ Rose, yep, yep.
We
I
can,
know he's looking for a
we can,
fight too.
yeah, we can run that too. As long as it's in 154 pounds. I'm all for it, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, again, having some of those guys, you kind of getting in that kind of mix of things, getting in that scene, USA saying, OJ Rose, people who have been here before, kind of veterans, if you want to say, of brand risk. Not as long as Chibu, who has fought, I think, like 12 times on brand risk ever since like 003, who's been there, it kind of embedded himself, a staple of brand risk, if you want to say. But someone who's
Yeah.
familiar with the scene, and you're just kind of being like, hey, I'm here. Me and Bang are here to take over. You know, we're coming in here. We're going to fight the best of the best. We're going to put on a show for you guys, and we are going to. We're down to fight whoever. Like, you give me a name, it's in my weight class, I'm game. I'm ready to go. And I think that's a really good asset of just being a professional about it. Like, listen, I can't go up 3 weight classes every fight. That's just an impossible ask, especially on a week and a half notice. But you give me someone at my weight,
Yeah.
I'll either meet you in the middle or go to that weight, and I'll be game for it.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And that's one thing that Aiden Ross and Brandis can always count on me with. I'm always going to come and put up a fight. If I would have had a different opponent in my last fight, it would have been a much more entertaining fight. And as far as the weight goes, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much fair. It's pretty basic just to ask to fight in my weight. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, still though, the ask of it, do you feel like the timing of it, having a week and a half notice, do you feel like that maybe in the future needs to change to maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks for a full camp, being able to just prepare fully for your opponent? Or do you think it was kind of just, this fight was just a last second thing? Maybe somebody pulled out of a fight, or maybe they were just looking for another extra fight or two, and this was just like a last second thing that ended up happening and giving you this opportunity.
Well, now that I was already in brand risk, I beat a fight I was not supposed to beat. I was a 4x underdog and I still came through and I still did what I had to do to win. Now I have a little bit more leverage on my side to the point where, now besides having leverage, now I just gotta stay in the gym, stay in shape. So even if they do call me in a week and a half notice, it's okay because I'm training, I'm in shape, and I'm close to weight. You know what I mean? Problem was that I just fought in January. I hurt my hand, so I had to stop training for a little while to heal. And then I get this call in a week and a half notice. I'm obviously not gonna say no because it's on brand risk. I'm gonna say yes, and then it's 3 weight classes above. That's what happened. I don't think that would happen again because, like I said, I'm gonna stay in the gym. I'm gonna make sure I stay in shape and I'm ready to go. But yeah, if you moving forward, only thing like I said, my weight.
Yeah, 100%. And that camp for you had, I mean, that had to be a little difficult. I mean, trying to get up to that weight, trying to still prepare and train for this fight. Would you say this was your hardest, I guess, mini training camp that you've had to endure?
Yeah, we didn't even really have a training camp. I was only able to spar, and then that's about it. you know, I was a little chubby as it was, so I pretty much just fought at the weight I was walking around that. I know he rehydrated a lot higher than me. He was a lot heavier in the ring than me, not stronger than me as we saw,
Yeah.
but he was definitely a lot heavier than me. But yeah, man, it's all good, bro. In this sport, man, you sometimes opportunities come and you just have to take them. You know what I mean? If you want to be somebody great, you sometimes you just got to take these opportunities and make the most of them, and that's what I did. And yeah, I just can't wait till May. I hope they put me on the card, and hopefully it's USA saying so I can really showcase my skills.
Yeah, I know they're starting to build that card up now. That I think they made a post saying like, "Hey, who do you guys want to see fight?" I
Yeah,
think I think a lot of people were mentioning just all these guys who they've seen. I know you, Bang, Scam, and then all these kind of matchups. Like someone put Larry Wheels. I want to see all these other guys fight. Larry Wheels, Bradley Martin. I want to see them two fight. Kind of making these kind of fantasy matchups, so to speak, to get that hype level up there, especially for the main card. I think is really what builds the hype of brand risk. But going back to your last fight, I know you said you were kind of like talking about your opponent's record. You said I'm a 4x underdog. Do you feel like people kind of overlook fights just because of records? Like, hey, oh, this guy's got a lot of wins and this guy doesn't have a lot of wins, so that means that the guy with more wins is gonna win.
yeah. I mean, rightfully so. If you have a lot of professional fights, you're kind of accomplished. Rightfully so. They did sleep on me though. I've told everybody, I had more amateur experience than him. I've been boxing longer than him, so they did sleep on me. But no, rightfully so. It's okay to look at people's record. I mean, that's pretty much your resume. You know what I mean? So that's totally normal. It was good that they slept on me because I made more money betting on myself.
I know, yeah, I know you mentioned that, and I guess everyone else who bet the house on you is probably
Yeah,
going to the bank right now to cash it out.
yeah.
Their parlays. I know a lot of people in the chat after your fight, they were either like they were either like I'm broke or they're like I'm up and I'm going to the bank right now to celebrate.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. A lot of people made money, man. There was a lot of people that made money on my fight because I told them bet, and they did, and they made a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, if I was kind of making my parlay, I'm pretty sure I would have lost like half of them except yours and Bangs. I think I bet on everyone else except yours, Bangs, and AP. I kind of was just like, all right, here's what I'm rocking with. I know these
Yeah,
guys. I've been watching them. I know that they're gonna do what they got to do to get the job done, and you ended up doing that. Like I said, your resume speaks for itself. You're undefeated now. You're still undefeated. Um, Coming off a huge fight which a lot of people thought you were going to lose. I mean, the whole chat, they see the records and they're like, oh, Deshawn's going to win. He's got more wins. He's going to win. That's how it goes. And then you ended up proving them all wrong and like, whoa, I didn't see this coming. I mean, do you feel like that fight was scored correctly? I know there was a lot of controversy about it. Do you feel like the judges got it right? And if so, what do you feel like kind of separated you from winning that fight to possibly a draw to losing that fight?
well, no, I mean, one judge got it wrong. The one judge gave it to him. That guy got it wrong. That should have been unanimous. I'll tell you why. So a lot of people that I were watching on stream that said it was a robbery or they gave him or they had him winning are not accounting for my body shots. I went to the body a lot. I ripped his body a lot. That counts. You know what I'm saying? I'm working the body. I'm working in the inside. You know what I mean? Aside from that, you don't win a fight just jabbing. A jab is not enough to just win a whole fight. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
that's all he did. All he landed on me were jabs. And yeah, bro. But no, I think two of the judges got it right. You know what I mean? I thought I won the fight 3 rounds to 2. So I started the fight good, and I closed it out good. You know what I'm saying? So by starting and closing, that's a win right there. But yeah, I thought I won 3 rounds to 2. At the end of the day, I had the toughest fight on the whole card. The whole out of everybody there, I had the toughest fight stylistically, record wise, accomplishment wise. I had the toughest fight, and that's why I was one of the biggest underdogs. Um, so I had to overcome a whole lot of things. People don't know. A week and a half notice, 3 weight classes above. My fight trunks didn't arrive on time. I had to fight on my old trunks from my previous fight. So a lot of things happen, you know what I'm saying? But you can't make excuses. You just gotta go out there and fight, you know, the best of your abilities at that present moment. You know what I mean? Can I have fought way better than that? Of course. And if with a full camp, you know, I would have fought way better than that, but I still did enough to win. I know I did enough to win. That's the reason why the judges gave me the fight. You don't win a fight with your back on the ropes. You
Yeah.
just don't win a fight like that.
Yeah, 100%, and that's what it's all about. Overcoming adversity, which like you said, you overcame a lot of adversity. I mean, like doing all of this stuff just because you saw this opportunity, you had to jump on it. Because who knows what would happen if you would have just said, you know what, I'm good. I'm gonna wait until I get a fight at my own weight class, and I'm gonna wait until I get a full camp. You're like, nah, I'm gonna take this fight on short notice. I'm gonna go up 3 weight classes, and I'm gonna make this fight happen because I want to make a name for myself. And I think that's one of the best decisions that you could have made.
Yeah, bro. Absolutely, man. It was a big one. I made it relatively fast. I made the decision fast, but it wasn't an easy decision, you know what I mean? Because it was my career on the line. Nobody with 3 professional fights is fighting contenders or guys with that many professional fights. I did it. It was a calculated move by myself and my team, and we knew we were gonna win. But realistically, with 3 pro fights, you're not supposed to take such big step up fights, especially in such a bigger weight class.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I just want to say again, thank you for taking the time for this interview. I really want to see you on this next card. I hope Jordan, I hope Aiden, the whole Brand Risk team decides to put you on this card. USA saying, if you're listening, this is the fight to
Yeah,
make.
man. If you're listening, man, I know you already verbally agreed, but now I need you to push for it same way I'm pushing for it. We need to make this. We need to make this fight happen because it'll for sure only end one way, and one way only is, and it'll only be a knockout. That's the only way that fight will finish. You know what I'm saying? So we need to make that fight happen ASAP in May. I know he already agreed. I agree. Let's make it happen. 100% that fight won't go to the scorecards. It'll end in a knockout. So let's go.
You heard it here first. Andrew Garcia is ready. Andrew, thank you for taking the time to join. I hope to see you soon. Thank you for the interview, bro.
Thank you, brother. You have a good one, all right,
You
man.
have a good one, bro.